Let's rock. This is awesome.
Hey everybody, welcome to Workforce Gaming. I'm Brad, here with Doug.
Hey.
HiFi Rush is the newest game from Tango Gameworks, who you may recognize from such games as The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo. So you would be correct in assuming that this is some kind of crazy horror game, as that is what they're known for. But this is like some kind of rhythm action game with some cool cell shading going on. That was shadow dropped on Xbox and PC last week. I kind of out of nowhere, no trailer, no nothing. I don't think I never even heard a word about this thing existing.
It's really funny. I think the name was leaked, and there's some super early concept art that looked nothing like the final game, which is great.
So anyway, Doug played through this the last 4 or 5 days, and this thing's getting a lot of big attention, good attention. Sounds awesome. So you ran through this really quick, which you don't do.
No. I think I beat this game. I think it's a 10-hour game. I think I beat it in 2 sittings, well into the night. And I think I'm looking back some of our early reviews. So I'm played well into the night. It's like Elden Ring, Demon Souls, games I really love. I absolutely love this game. If this game came out last year, it would have been right behind Elden Ring, no question.
Wow.
I cannot stress how cool. If you saw this trailer and you're and you just have thoughts in your head what this game could be, and you have expectations for what this game could be, it meets all those, it explodes all those expectations. It is just incredible. It's like a love letter to PS2 action games. It's stuff like Beautiful Joe, stuff like Devil May Cry, and it's really funny because it seems like the whole basis of the game is sometimes when I play a Devil May Cry game, when I'm just kind of messing around, you can hear the beat of the music, and you realize I can actually time my breath, but my sword swings, and he'll go huh, 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 in time with the music. And it basically takes that concept and makes an entire game out of it. It creates a really interesting character action game that is kind of antithetical to how you would normally play them. It creates an interesting learning curve, but by the end, it still felt like I was kind of in that Devil May Cry, I can just totally rip through guys because I now know how to play the game. It is incredible. It's incredible.
So it's rhythm action. So I'm curious about that because I feel like that's very hit or miss because there's things out there where it's this works really well, this doesn't work really well. What is it? Crypto the Necro Dancer comes into mind. Is it that type of thing where it's you hit the buttons on the beat still? How much freedom do you have? I've really only seen the trailer for this because there's been nothing else out there.
Yeah. So what it is, there's a driving beat that's going the entire time, and the whole level is bouncing to that beat. So it's 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and just probably more so than other games that have a rhythm in the background. Just everything in this game is pumping to that. I think it's a 4/4 beat. So what you do when you press X, it doesn't matter when you press X, the attack will only come out on the beat. Enemy attacks will only come out on the beat. So for example, for a light combo is tap 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 within the beat of the rhythm. A heavy attack takes 2 beats, so it's tap 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 tap. So it's really forgiving. So basically I don't have to tap along necessarily with the beat, but my attack will only come out at the beat. But you get an additional attack bonus if you're hitting to the beat.
Okay.
So you're doing normal Devil May so you're doing normal Devil May Cry combos, and if you're hitting off beat, you're this isn't a very responsive game. But if you're hitting within the beat, his animation is going to hit every single time on the beat. Enemies are going to attack exactly on the beat. So every time you dodge on the beat. So you can tell an enemy's going to, they kind of do a flash, and it's okay, I need to dodge or block on the next beat. So it takes a lot of the guesswork, I think, out of stylish action games. You can't really tell when to parry and when to do that because the animation's always a little bit complicated, and it's always sometimes a little chaotic. But you just know that exactly on the next beat the enemy is going to attack. You know exactly on the next beat you need to do X, Y, Z, or you're going to attack. It's really, really odd at first. It was really funny. Right before we started this up, I was actually replaying the game because they give you a little bit of a carrot to go back and play some of the levels because they have some stuff. And it's just so funny. It's where I was at the beginning where I was kind of fighting it. I was I don't quite like you're trying to figure out. It doesn't quite make sense. It feels like there's this kind of awkwardness because of that. Like your Devil May Cry brain, you need to turn off. It's kind of like playing Ollie Ollie where you turn off your Tony Hawk brain. But it's just so funny replaying it. I'm just like tearing through enemies, getting like S rank, to where I was at the beginning, where I'm just like barely trying to keep along with the beat, because really you need to keep your cool the entire time, which is really hard to do, because sometimes you just end up button mashing in a game, especially with boss fights and stuff. But in this one, you're like, no, it only goes on the beat, so I really only need to focus on the beat of when to dodge and when to do that.
So you don't get like smash combos where you're like constantly hitting buttons like left, right, block, this. It's very much like button.
Yes.
Button. Ooh, that almost sounds hard just to like wrap my brain around. Like I want to do this, and this, and you're so ingrained into like, okay, I hit circle, triangle, circle, and then I'm gonna dodge, and like all of that in like a 3-second window turns into.
Exactly. And it's kind of interesting because some of the combos will be like, even in Devil May Cry, they have ones like you like tap X and you do a slight pause and then you tap again. So they have some of the combos that are based on that. It's like remembering to pause on the third beat and then keep attacking, or do like X. It sounds complicated, but honestly, like once it's all working, it is like, it's so much fun, because like just with the beat going boom, 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 and you attacking and all the enemies attacking on the beat, it just feels amazing, and it looks so cool. Because it is that sort of moment, like it's that, like I was saying, that creative, like in a Devil May Cry game, when you feel that want to do your sword swipes on it, it just takes that and just like it's so much fun just getting those beats right, because it feels like you're really good at a rhythm game all of a sudden. Like, you know, like when you're learning Guitar Hero and then you're good at Guitar Hero, you have that exact same one, but it's a mix of Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, a bunch of other stuff. It's like that like really easily, you can easily see the through line from one to the other.
Is there an on-screen indicator at all, or is it purely like you need to know like beats? Like, is there like, you mentioned Guitar Hero, is there like a circle that like the circle has to get in the circle, or is it purely like you need to listen? Like, could you play it with your eyes closed? You
could play it with your eyes closed. There's a I guess we could talk a little bit about characters in a bit though, but there's a little floating cat head next to you that's like blinking to the beat.
Oh, okay.
And then there's actually an accessibility option where it shows actually shows this kind of like circle and then the beats coming towards it, that it will take up like the bottom third of your screen, so it'll always just like clearly show the beats if you need it. But they do have that kind of like helpful, even without that accessibility thing, there's like a helpful little cat that's like right next to your character that's like also blinking to the beat. And I know gameplay wise it sounds a little bit complex, but the gameplay is super fun, and then the tone is just like impeccably impeccable. It's so much fun. If you see the trailers, it is a gorgeous game. It looks a lot like Guilty Gear. And the art style is just like impeccable. It's this sort of like perfect Saturday morning cartoon, just in how it looks, but also the tone of it. The tone is a sort of really lighthearted. Everybody's only taking the world kind of half seriously. So for example, you have this cat companion that comes along with you, and there's characters you meet along the way, and they talk through the cat. The cat's kind of like a walkie-talkie. Okay. But the cat will take on the person. Well, because they're talking through the cat's animations will match that character that's talking. Oh. So it's really fun near the end of the game when you have like 3 different characters, and this cat next to you is like swapping between the 3 characters, their animations. The cutscenes are also like really gorgeous animation. And the thing that's fun is that 1, 2, 3, 4 is always beating in the background with like even the cutscenes. Oh, that's so fun. The action and cutscenes is going along with the beats. So there was this one where again, staying away from spoilers, there's a car tumbling and it's like tap, 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 like with the beat of this car tumbling and crashing and these people fighting. And sometimes when they're talking, it'll go to the beat of the music as well. The boss fights are all like totally unique. There's a lot of stuff where you're kind of thrown into a situation where like, they're just like, here's a new mechanic, you better learn it quick. And here's a boss fight like with that new mechanic. It really reminds me of I'm trying to think, just like kind of like just old PS2 games, and in the best way, in that like you have your missions, there's these bosses they introduced at the beginning, you fight the bosses, and then the final boss is the boss they introduced at the beginning who says this is the final boss, and that is the final boss.
Just that old school classic, like let's just play a game, let's just have some fun, let's make a video game, and it's a video game.
It's exactly there's no like season passes or anything like that. It's like almost exactly 10 hours. It's just like the perfect video game length. And I really, really love the tone of it because I was laughing a lot. It's like I just had this stupid smile on my face the entire time, whether it's because playing along to the music is really fun or the jokes they do are really fun. The references they make to certain things are really interesting because I think there was we kind of got stuck in this like 16-bit nostalgia for I think like way too long.
Yep.
I mean, I'm in my 30s and I didn't play a lot of the 16-bit era. I was like 4 or 5 or something like that.
Yep.
So my nostalgia is more like PS1, PS2. So almost all the references in that game are from that PS2, PS1 era.
Mm-hmm.
Like I almost feel like it's spoilers if I like tell you like the direct references they have, but they have cool stuff. Like they have the character has a your main character. Oh, I forgot to even talk about the plot of this game. I'm so excited. Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
So the plot of this, might want to take this and bring it to the beginning. So the plot of this game is you play this character named Chai, and what he is, he signs up for this program of this evil corporation, and I think it's just like you get like a cool robotic arm. They show him with like a broken arm at the beginning. And what happens is during the process of him getting this new mechanized arms and stuff, his iPod accidentally falls out of his pocket and that like falls into the machine. So his iPod gets integrated into his chest. And then he's essentially hallucinating the world going to the beat of the music.
This is awesome.
Because of the iPod in his chest. Yeah, and it's really, really cool, especially with the music. Besides, everything's going to beat, some of the cool stuff they do with the music is every time a new track starts up, in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, like they'll say the track name, the artist, the publisher kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool. So like a lot of the ones will say like, such and such, Tango Gameworks, whatever. But when they use some of the licensed music, it is out of control. Super, super cool.
Is there a lot of licensed music, or is it like a boss fight thing? Is it like a Rayman Legends where there's like 3 of them scattered throughout?
I'd say it's close to Rayman Legends where there's 3 scattered out throughout, but like they just know exactly when to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially near the finale, some of the music that's like there's a song like I'm thinking in my head. There's a scene that's like it's almost straight out like Scott Pilgrim. Sort of stuff. They even mentioned Scott Pilgrim as being like one of the direct inspirations for it. And this track pops up that I was just like so surprised is in the game. I haven't heard it in years. I was just like, it just so fits this moment. And so like the fight is going with the music. Then it is a cutscene that's going with the music. You go back to the fight that's going in the music into a finale that's also going to the music. So it's really cool. I kind of like that they save those tracks because when those licensed tracks plays, it's usually some big boss moment. So like when the chorus kicks in, the boss is usually changing into the next, next form or something like that. Yeah. And one of the cool things that the character that you play as is kind of dumb. He's just a dumb guy. And he has like this sort of like support group of friends kind of thing that he meets along the way behind him who are all just like clearly much more capable, but he's just like this dumb, lovable, everything seems to work out for him sort of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny because his robotic arm that like he got out of this whole thing is essentially just like a little grasper that you would use to pick up trash. So, and it's magnetized. So his weapon, because he wants to be a rock star, which it's a side plot sort of thing. Yep. Is that when he pulls out his little like trash picker upper, it magnetizes a bunch of trash into the shape of a guitar. And as you get higher and higher combos, it'll literally turn into a guitar. It's such a fun. It is so fun. The cutscenes are so fun. It just seems like everybody's just having an absolute blast making this game.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast playing it. Just constantly surprising. It also has a lot of really fun. And this is gonna sound really stupid because most of the times when you say this, it's like, ugh. There's a lot of fun pop culture references. But so I'll tell you a bad way to do a pop culture reference. There's this game, I cannot even remember what it was called, and came out like 10 years ago, and you're walking by and there's a sign that says like Catterday this Saturday or something like that. It's not integrated in the story. It's nothing. It's stupid. It's like, okay, we're referencing the thing. It's like having a Subway ad in a movie is not a joke. It's just there's a guy eating a Subway.
Yeah, yep.
So what they do here though is whenever they pull in a reference, the scene isn't built for that reference. It just makes sense in that scene for them to do it. So, for example, God, I'm trying to do this without spoiling. there's too many good spoilers. Because when it pops up, you're like, wait a second, did they just do the thing? In between battles, they have like during waves of battles, how they kind of load in the next wave is they swap to your character real fast. He does like kind of like a little animation. They swap to the next one.
Yeah.
One of his animations is very clearly one of Sora's animations from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I know what that is, but he's just flicking around. Like, it makes sense for the character in that moment.
Yeah.
And like, I get it as a Kingdom Hearts reference, or I get it as
It's not the like, hey guys, remember in Kingdom Hearts when Sora took out his Keyblade?
Yeah, exactly. It like everything made sense for the characters. It made sense for the moment, and it makes sense because they're also using licensed music. So it's like they're kind of incorporating
part of
sort
the
of like
world.
a larger. Exactly. So it was just really. It's like the first time when I saw a reference that were like really fun. It does one that there was a reference to something I knew was, I kind of like figured, I was like, what the hell are they doing? And I was reading online what that reference was to, and it was like kind of obscure PS1 game, very specific moment from it. I was like, it's just cool because the creator's clearly pulling on things that they're interested in, not because it's like this is a cool pop culture thing. It's like, no, this is clearly the thing that he's interested in, or they're interested in, because this came from the team who did Evil Within 2. So they have a lot of fun Evil Within 2 stuff in there as well.
Yeah.
And Evil Within 2 was like really deliberate with the type of references that it was pulling in as well, where it had to make sense in the universe before they were going to pull it in to do the reference. And it all works because the game is just so silly. It's funny. It's really lighthearted. The characters are great. Some of the finale stuff reminded me of like stuff in Kingdom Hearts, where like it feels like some of the finale stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3 was like all these characters I've known for so long. It's so cool seeing them in this moment. And like you get that feeling with these characters that like you've only known for 10 hours. It feels like by the end that it's like this might be, Kingdom Hearts. This could be like HiFi 2 or HiFi 3.
Yeah.
You feel that connection, those characters going into those finales, doing these cool Bayonetta style big ass moments, kind of thing. And the game just rocks, just backwards and forwards. It's just pristine.
It's so interesting because it just seems like one of those games like that don't get made anymore, where it's just like it's just dumb fun. It's dumb fun. We don't need a 20-hour story. We don't need an open world. We don't need 100 side quests. We don't need a clear spot for cosmetics. It's just fun. Like, let's just sit down, let's have fun for 10 hours. Let's be goofy, let's be silly, let's pull in some fun stuff, and let's have a good time for 10 hours, which I feel like is slowly getting further and further away outside of, stuff like this, like small little projects that come out now and then, indie space, stuff like that. But especially something coming from Microsoft first party, I would not expect dumb little fun 10-hour game.
It kind of felt like almost like a slight to the game to be shadow dropped, just like dropped out and just like put out in the world. But it's dropped in the world for $30. And I was like, you're expecting a $30 game. And I was like, actually, this is one of the best games I've played.
There you go, regardless of price.
Regardless, yeah, exactly.
Elden Ring, then Hi-Fi Rush, then the rest.
Yeah, it made me not even care about an Evil Within 3, and I love Evil Within 2. Yeah. I love Evil Within.
Well, we are Workforce Gaming. You can follow us on Twitter at Workforce Gaming. Subscribe to us wherever we're listening, and we will see you later.
Bye.